Was that a good enough intro for you, McBride? Was it?
I do believe the expression, Tom, is bad boys for life. Uh, but the four is the number four.
Oh, now
There you
that's
go.
so street. That is so
There you
street.
go.
I was
Uh,
here. Yeah.
the
Well,
what can we say? As the intro brought us in there in style. We are here to kick ass, chew bubblegum, and we're all out of bubblegum, Tom. And I'm in no fucking humor to kick ass either. So we better just chat.
exactly.
Welcome
So,
back. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, I mean, holy crap. We done did it again, Tom. We just fucking launched in without even saying hello or greeting or anything like this. I mean, just because you and me have been chatting in the shed here for a half an hour before we record, it doesn't mean anybody else is up to speed. How are you doing, Tom? It's lovely to see you again, Tom.
Grand. I know how you're doing. I know. Let's not beat around the bush. We have been talking very, very regularly. I know Gerry is doing absolutely fine. Very importantly, I'm sure you're doing fine. You can't actually answer us, or feel free to answer us if you, in some manner or form. But yes, bet you didn't think we'd do it. Bet you didn't think we'd do it, and we haven't technically still done it. We're just telling you about it, but we have.
Yeah,
we have.
this is just like this is just a preamble. This is a pre-game interview. Tom, is what this is before we bring on the arrival. They said we'd never do it. Some said we should never do it. Season 6 of the Tom and Gerry show.
We're getting a bit up ourselves now, announcing the show now, and everything. This is what happens when you go big time. You see, you have to announce yourself into a situation. You can't just rock up like we've done with season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're actually an announcement.
Just showed up, and here you go. Well, you know what, Tom? There's a very good reason why we're here, peeking out from up our own holes to say hello. How are you keeping? Like a little fucking thread worm in the middle of the night. Hello, I'm here. We are here because season 6, we wanted to tell everybody a little bit about season 6 just so that they can get the head start on not listening to it if this doesn't sound like you're a cup of tea. This is episode 1 of...
Just to let you guys know that we don't want to disappoint you. So far, don't go any further if any of this doesn't sound like...
Yeah, if this sounds like shit, take your leave. Thank you very much for coming. Take a bag at the door there as you go. But we've made a couple of changes to the structure of the podcast. So we didn't want people rocking up to episode 1 of season 6, looking to know where giving out yards was. So we said we give them fair warning, Tom. But I think what we have planned for season 6 is potentially our true calling in this life, and what we've been building up to all this time.
I think it is, and I mean, sure enough, podcasts typically go with a basis of maybe not being so egomaniacal and self-involved as we have been so far, because really it's just been about us and the things that bother us, and they us. People normally do things.
It's in the name, Tom.
But look, here's the reality: is there's a lot more to us than just what we've been talking about. No, in reality, there are subjects and fun matters that are some way intertwined. We can't put one umbrella over the whole thing, only to say that it's these things are something that Tom and Gerry are interested in. If they ain't true crime, we ain't, you know what I mean? We don't have, you can't put them all under that one umbrella, but all of these subjects that we have picked, very unlike season 1 through 5, where it was a magazine show set up. We're taking one segment or one element every single week of item that we have a huge interest in. Came about as a result, Gerry, really, of us shooting the shit.
Yeah, I mean, here's what it is, guys. I mean, you guys have been listening to us hopefully for a long time. If you haven't been listening to us, go on back and listen to the other episodes.
Rakes of them there.
Yeah, shitloads. Me and Tom would come on here and we would chat about our worst gigs ever and shit we hate and shit you wouldn't think we'd like and how drunk we've ever been and all this kind of thing. And in the course of that, we would find ourselves mentioning little things here and there, little snippets of, oh, do you remember this? Nah. Oh, what's the story with that? And when the podcast went off the air, me and Tom would frequently sit here for another 45 minutes talking about those subjects. And we decided, you know what? That's a podcast, Tom. That should be season 6.
Other people would find this as the crumbs at the bottom of the pack of the crisps, Gerry, which are still enjoyable for everybody.
Who doesn't love the crumbs, Tom? So season 6 is going to be a multi-episode season where we're going to go into a little bit of a deep dive, as Tom said there, into subjects that very, very much interest us. And as Tom said there now, there's a lot of people doing this, and if you're thinking, oh, this is Tom and Gerry talking about the Zodiac Killer, it's going to be one of those true crime podcasts. Yeah,
Look,
Not so much. No, I'm not saying that kind of shit isn't interesting, but there are loads of brilliant podcasts about that kind of thing. I firmly believe, Tom, that we have picked a host of subjects that hasn't really had a day out in the sun yet.
I've searched, Gerry, and okay,
I've looked.
There's one or two of the subjects people have skirted around, but they're tied in with other things. But the reality is putting your absolute blanket around these subjects. Nobody has done it before. The ones that we've picked. And they are quintessential. When you look to the heart of it, there'll be no surprise that Tom and Gerry absolutely fucking love every single element that we picked. That was the reason why we did it.
Absolutely, and some very big fans of our show might go, "Oh, I remember they talked about that in season 3."
Some keen-eared people will pick up what we already talked about.
Absolutely, some keen-eared people will hear jokes we've already made.
Hey, Neil Diamond doesn't get up on stage every night with a new fucking song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does Gerry know a different song than Cracklin' Rosie? He's referred to it 4 times at this stage. But yeah, absolutely. Hey, and Tom, you know what? One thing with the Tom and Gerry show, we always said that it wasn't going to be a learning podcast. Well, you know what? We're not going to, like, it's not going to be not a learning podcast, but it's just going to be an introduction to some very, very deep subjects that are absolutely fascinating to you and to me. And I think that what we're going to do is we're going to pique everybody's interests in a load of subjects that if they like what we talk about, then they are welcome to learn more about it, because we're going to do some deep dives, but at the same time, the subjects we're talking about, we're only going to tip the surface of it. There's so much to dive in on here.
Do you know what I think it is too, Gerry? I think what you've just described there is exactly what endeared everybody to our very first episode. The reason why people loved him so much, even though nobody could understand why he loved what he loved, but it was his honesty and his passion about the thing. And it's the way we are about the things we picked.
Yeah.
We absolutely 100% we're glued to the subjects we picked, actually, because everyone you went to, I went, yes, correct.
Yeah.
You'll realize why myself and Gerry are friends, because everyone, they're niche to a degree.
They're very niche, but there was no stage where like Tom pitched me a subject, or I pitched Tom a subject, and we went, yeah, I can kind of see it. We were like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. We'll get an hour out of that easy. So we're gonna. This is just a short introductory podcast to let you all know that whereas we will not have a segment called "Giving Out Yards," do not fear that season 6 will go by without us giving out yards. We're going to be there'll be yards given out intertwined in all these subjects, and indeed there may be stories of what have you that will mirror what you've heard in seasons 1 to 5 of the Tom and Gerry show. And no guest stars. We're still going to save them for the bonus episodes.
Exactly. Don't worry, we're not going to go all BBC.
Which I got to tell you, people are loving.
Yeah, people really are loving it. Well, look, we're glad you have, and we're glad to have kept.
And I said, you know what? Yeah, I was sorry. I got to tell you, I was a bit rash to say no guest stars. Maybe we'll have a guest star too. Who knows?
Look,
but it's unlikely.
If we can find somebody who's as interested in the subject as we are,
yeah.
But look, don't write it off. But I think myself and Gerry would be absolutely fine to carry these as ourselves, because, like we said, between the two of us, talking at length about every one of these subjects in the past, I think we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think we'll just be fine. And for anybody that did like the format of season 1 to 5, relax. We haven't thrown it out. In actual fact, if there's a subject that we're going to be talking about that might require another week's worth of research to get it absolutely right, you might find that we'll sneak in an old style, giving out yards style episode here and there.
Exactly,
Just to keep the ball rolling if we need to go do a little bit more homework on the subject we're talking about this week. And above all else, Tom, you know what? We've talked this far about it all, and we haven't mentioned one thing. It's going to be fucking great crack, Tom.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's going to be great, and I can't wait to hear some of your takes on these things, Tom, which I'm sure are just going to be absolutely hilarious. And I'll try to be wry and witty myself.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of it, but I would genuinely, and I don't like work. Nobody does. But
nobody likes work.
Genuinely enjoying researching the things we've done and actually writing. Writing. I've actually been enjoying writing this stuff.
I put pen to paper.
Needless to say, that'll come across, I think. I think people are going to get on board regardless of knowing the subject. I've thrown it up to a couple of people privately, the ideas that we've had and stuff like that. And I know for a fact these people wouldn't have a grasp of it at all. But with the Tom and Gerry show stamp, they're going, them two cunts are going to make it funny regardless.
Season 6 of the Tom and Gerry show is finally going to be the season of the Tom and Gerry show that I will not be ashamed for people that I know in real life to listen to. I will send them links myself. I'll say, listen to this. You know, season 1 to 5. Don't judge me too harshly on them. That was free flowing vinegar. But this I'm really looking forward to it. So Tom, enough talk about it. When are we bringing this? I think we better kick off next week. What do you think?
I think it's only fair. I think it's only right. I think it's only just that we do. We kick off next week. We launch into it.
Same bad time, same bad channel. So we're going to be coming out the same time that we did any other week. And as we have been doing so far, we're going to be giving you the heads up on who or what our segment, our episodes are going to be about the night before or a couple of days in advance on the Instagram and the Twitter. So if you want to know what that week's subject is, you should follow us on Twitter or follow us on Instagram at Tom and Gerry Show, or indeed Tom _& Gerry. Hey, you know what? You put Tom and Gerry with a G into a social media platform of your choice. You'll fucking know.
You'll find.
If the people in the avatars look like me and Tom sound, that's more than likely us.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
We might even burst out merch this year, Ger. Go proper podcasting.
Shit.
Might even burst out some merch.
You know, shout outs. Who knows, Tom?
Oh, steady on the shout outs, Ger. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know, rightly, I won't be doing shout outs. But other than that, you can find us. And now is the time, everybody that's listened to the Tom and Gerry Show down through all the years, we hugely appreciate your listening. It's absolutely great. But if you know anybody that would love a new podcast to listen to, and they don't like the idea of just two lads giving out yards and all that kind of shit, but they'd like a good meaty deep dive into very interesting subjects, point them our direction. They'll be able to find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, what's the other ones?
We're everywhere. We're fucking everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're like a virus, basically, Gerry. We're fucking everywhere. We're under the sofa now if you go looking.
Whatever you can listen to, we're on fucking 8-track tapes. We're on little fucking Victorian wax cylinders.
Victorian wax cylinders, yeah. I actually had one printed up, very retro. That being said,
what did it say? Hang on. No. What'd you get on a wax cylinder?
Oh, I didn't. I was just playing along there. Jesus Christ almighty. Well, you don't think I'm
all right, okay.
Oh shit!
Well, actually, you look so heartbroken. It could have been like
you look so heartbroken.
Because I thought it was gonna be. I thought you were gonna say something like, "Yeah, I got my fucking kid's first words on a wax cylinder." I was like, "God damn! I didn't know this was a service that you could 3D print a wax cylinder with shit on it." That's how you get it done.
You look so upset. Right. I'm so sorry. Fuck. No, I didn't.
My wee face.
I got nothing on a wax cylinder. Anyway, it won't be anything like that disappointment wise, but there will be a lot of emotions, because myself and Gerry do love every single subject that we have chosen to do this year.
Can't wait.
Coming out next week, everybody. Till we see you then. Good luck and thanks.
Bye bye.